Chapter 20. Lights out. By 10 o'clock that night, all the lights went out in the dormitory and it was pitch black, except for a fluorescent light on the ceiling in the center of the dorm that attracted and killed flies. Hundreds of dead flies were stuck on it. It was 150 beds 4 feet apart with footlockers between them, and they were all in the open without the safety or separation of cell walls. It was 150 convicts on them getting ready to go to bed. Some were eating, some listening to their Walkmans, some getting high, and some reading books or newspapers. I even saw 2 men under the blanket in the same bed kissing on each other. One guy told me that they were both killers. Because no one paid them any attention, I paid them no attention either. Adapting to your environment was the key to survival. The guys that slept on both sides of me were both trying to spark conversations, but I wasn't interested in having any friends. I only wanted to know if I could get prosecuted for assault or a weapon. The guy I asked this to looked at me as if I was crazy, then told me if a victim pressed charges or I got caught red-handed with the knife, then I could get an additional sentence if it was referred for prosecution. I decided to take my chances. My mentality didn't change with my location. I was the same youth in prison as I was in society. The knife was the gun. I'd rather be caught with it than without it. I had the ice pick on my hip. That night, the Christians invited me to their prayer circle. I obliged, went to the back of the dormitory, and we all bowed our heads as the lead Christian spoke to his Lord. He asked his Lord to protect us and have mercy because for the first time in his life, he was witnessing children being placed in adult prisons with long sentences. He was praying for me. As the prayer circle broke up, one of them offered me a Bible and told me about their services and church schedule. I told them I wasn't into religion, but I would come and check out their congregation. I never went. I wasn't interested. In the next few weeks, Moors, Sunni Muslims, and Nation of Islam prisoners would ask me to join their congregations also, and each time I refused. It was around 95 degrees in the dorm with personal fans blowing on a few guys and 2 large industrial fans blowing hot air at the front of the dormitory. My roots is in the Caribbean, so I didn't mind the heat, but for some it was torture, as it was for me, the loud buzzing of flies closing in on my ears. All day and night I heard the sound of slaps from fly swatters hitting against floors, lockers and beds, and the loud electrical shocks of flies being zapped on the fluorescent light above me. I wrote my girlfriend a letter of encouragement. I encouraged her to move on with her life and leave me in the past. I didn't want her to put her young life on hold for me. She was about to graduate from high school and head to college. She had an exciting life ahead of her. And so did I. I kicked off my boots and lay back on the bunk with my security on my hip. I stared at the raggedy ceiling as I thought about the dangers of ice picks. If someone was stabbed multiple times, there's a chance that the doctors may miss one of the wounds because they were so small. Sometimes they didn't even bleed and may even close up. This would lead to an undetected wound and the person would die from internal bleeding. It was one of the Italian mafia favorite weapons for assassination. Pushed it in behind the victim's ear, straight into their brain, and then quickly pull it out. It left little or no blood and the wound would almost be undetectable. Plus it would be covered by the air. The murder would be classified as a natural death. Brain hemorrhaging. The ice pick gave me comfort.